ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेव देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। So, namaste everyone once again.
Namaste.
And wish you all a very happy Gita Jayanti day.
Same
Happy
to you,
Gita.
Guruji.
Of course, for us, Gita Jayanti is coming every Friday because we are in touch
Namaste,
with
Guruji.
Gita throughout the year. But of course, for other people, Gita once in a year at least you remember Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan's teachings. And normally they say that, during the day, either you do the whole Gita Parayanam, if you have the time and inclination, or otherwise, at least one chapter you can read, just as a remembrance rather, and paying our respects. So, that
Namaste,
is,
Guruji. Pranam.
Namaste, Pranam. So that is the significance of today. Anyhow, we are now in Upanishad, gone one step further. So we will now go to our mantra, what we have been seeing. Okay. So we are seeing the 11th mantra of the second section of the first Mundaka, 1.2.11. We will read. Tapashraddhe.
Tapashraddhe.
More noise is required. More voice is required. Tapashraddhe.
Tapashraddhe.
Ye hyupavasatyaranye.
Ye
Upavasatyaranye.
Shantaha.
Shantaha.
Vidvamsaha.
Vidvamsaha.
Bhaikshcharyam charantaha.
Bhaikshcharyam charantaha.
Suryadvarena.
Suryadvarena.
Te virajaha. Prayanti. Yatramritaha. Sapurushaha. Havyayatma. And we will also read the last sentence of the Bhashyam, which we were discussing towards the end of last class. Tatacha
तथा
Manuna Uktam
मनुना
उक्तम्
उक्तम्
Stavaradhyam
स्थावराध्याम्
Sansaragatim
संसारगतिम्
Anukramata
अनुक्रामता
Brahma Vishwasrujo Dharmo
ब्रह्मा विष्णुसृजो धर्मो
Mahanavyaktamev cha
महानव्यक्तमेव च
Uttamam Sattvikametam
उत्तमां
एताम्
Gatirmahurmanishinah
गतिर्माहुर्मनीषिणः
iti.
इति
Good. So, after completing the Bhashyam on the mantra, and also after addressing a possible objection by the Purva Pakshi relating to the interpretation of the word Virajaha, and presenting the Shruti Pramanam to show that the words Amritaha and Avyayatma used in the mantra indicate only relative moksha and not absolute moksha. Now Bhashyakara is winding up the discussions on the topic of Aparavidya. Whole topic of Aparavidya which has been going on right from the beginning of this section. Its merits, limitations, all that he is now summing up the whole thing. And it seems that Bhashyakara is not satisfied with presenting the Shruti Pramana to support his contention, because Purva Pakshi is very much capable of quoting some Smriti Pramana to argue that Bhashyakara's position is untenable. So here Purva Pakshi is also very well versed in all the scriptures like Bhashyakara. So he will pick up somewhere from some Smriti and say, you see, this Smriti says like this, that going to Swarga is moksha. So how can you just, deny that? They may ask. And therefore, anticipating such an objection, Bhashyakara is giving the Smriti Pramana also to show that the attainment of Hiranyagarbha is the highest one can get through Aparavidya, which is in the realm of samsara alone. So he says tatha, similarly. Similarly means similar to the Shruti Vakyas that he had quoted. The Manusmriti also elaborately describes, lists out, enumerates the goals of samsara. So the goals within samsara are described. That is, what all can be attained in the samsara is described in the Manusmriti. And according to the Smriti, if a person does certain karmas, then the result that the person will attain is sthavara bhava. Means he will become a jiva which cannot move, like plants, trees, etc. That means now he has a human birth, but he will be reborn as a plant and grow into a tree or remain a plant itself like many vegetable plants, etc., which do not grow into trees. So he will be born in a lower yoni, lower than even an animal birth. So among the Jiva Rashis, plant is the lowest range in samsara. And it is the result of some papa karma. As I told you in the last class. Probably that Jiva was a totally miserly person in his previous human birth. He was not prepared to give a dime to anybody, nor feed anybody. He would have been a very wealthy person, having a lot of agriculture and all that. Lot of fruits will be there, but he will not part with those fruits to anybody. He will even allow them to rot, but he will not give it to others. Such a miserly person he could have been. So in this birth, his karma will say, okay, now last time you did this, I will make you a fruit tree now. This time you have to give everything to others only. You cannot consume anything yourself. So this is the lowest range in samsara. And what is the highest range you can reach in samsara? That is the position of Hiranyagarbha. Brahmaji is the highest one that can be reached by samsara. So in between the lowest and the highest, if a person does some karma, he could become some animal like a dog. Even in that, there are degrees. In case of some karmas, he or she will be born as a dog, all right, but that dog will be taken as a pet by some cinema star or some celebrity. So that dog will have a royal, comfortable life with rich food, air-conditioned rooms, traveling in posh cars, which could be even superior to the life of some human beings. So even within one yoni, there could be gradations. Or he or she will be born as a human being. So thus different situations are presented in that chapter in Manusmriti, which are results of karma. And so while enumerating the results of karma, Bhashyakara quotes a sentence from that Manusmriti. And he gives the context also. And he says that this statement has been given by Manu while enlisting the karmas which are within samsara. And what is that statement? Brahma Vishwa Srijaha Dharmaha Mahan Avyaktam Evacha Uttamam Satvikim Etam Gatim Ahu Manishinaha. So all these fall within samsara. What are they? Brahma. The word Brahma here refers to Virat. So Virat also falls within samsara. Then Vishwasrijaha. Vishwasrijaha means various Prajapatis who are created by Brahmaji. That 10 Prajapatis, they are called Vishwasrijaha. And they are all said to be Manasa Putra, mind-born sons of Brahmaji, the creator. And so, Ishvara delegated the job of creation of this entire universe to Brahmaji. But Brahmaji alone cannot handle the whole thing. So he created 10 Prajapatis, his deputies, gave them different assignments. Okay, now you go ahead and create this entire universe. And therefore, these Prajapatis are considered to be the fathers of mankind. And the Shastra names 10 of them. Marichi, Atri, Angirasa, Pulastya or Pulaha or Pulaka is also called Kratu, Vasishta, Prachetas or Daksha, Bhrugu and Gautama. So these 10 are considered to be the progenitors. What is the meaning of progenitors? They are the great people who are asked to propagate life so that this creation will be filled with these living beings. Prajapatis, initiators of Praja. And in Manusmriti, they are called Vishwasrijaha. Literally here, Vishwa means all. Vishwa means a world also, but in this context, it means all. Srijaha means creators. So creators of all subsequent people. Vishwasrijaha. Of course, when it comes to Shastra, different people have got different views. And everybody will quote some Purana or some Pramanam to say that their view is correct. So some authorities reduce this number to 7, connecting them to Sapta Rishis. So whatever be the number 7, 10, etc., all are falling within samsara only. That is what we have to understand. Then dharma hai. Dharma hai here means Yamadharma Raja. So the position of Yamadharma Raja, Yamapadam, is also within samsara only. And this Yamadharma Raja himself admits that in Kathopanishad. He tells Nachiketas, "Oh Nachiketas, you are more intelligent than me. When I was a human being, I did great rituals and upasana for getting this Yama post. And I got it. But I was not intelligent enough to ask for the highest post." Which is what? Which Nachiketas asked. Which is the knowledge of Brahman. So Yamadharma Raja says, I asked for this miserable Yama post. And he praises Nachiketas. He says, you too have the opportunity, but you are not interested in it. You are asking for moksha only. And therefore, we should remember Yama position also falls within samsara only. Then the next one is Mahan. Here Mahan refers to Hiranyagarbha, the Mahat Tattvam. And Avyaktam means Maya, the Karana Prapancha, the Prakriti. Of course, here the order is not given, but it is not in a graded order. If you have to grade these items, Avyaktam must be at the top. Next one should be Hiranyagarbha. Next one should be Virat. Next one should be Prajapatis. Next one should be Yamadharma Raja. And all of them up to Prakriti will come under samsara only. It is like in prisons, they have got grades. A class person, B class person, etc. Whatever be the class, as long as you are a prisoner, you are in the prison only, the prison of samsara. So here Manu says that these are the highest lokas attainable within samsara. Therefore he says, Etam Uttamam Satvikim Gatim Ahuhu. All these goals, like Yama post, Prajapati post, Virat post, all these are positions only. Similarly, Vishwasrijaha progenitors, Yamadharma Raja, Hiranyagarbha, Prakriti, and Manishinaha, learned people. Ahuhu means describe or say that all these positions which are mentioned here and which are all considered to be great are the best goals, born of Satviki, born of Sattva-guna, means born of Upasana, which is done with the help of Sattva-guna predominance. So here Satviki refers to those particular results. Somebody can become Brahma, somebody can become Prajapati, or like that, So all these are all results of Upasana, which is possible only if a person has got predominance of Sattva Guna. And these goals are, or results are Uttamam, they are exalted. So all these which are described in the first half of the shloka are an exalted Lord brought about by the product of Sattva Guna, that is Upasana. And that is what learned people say or call. So the learned people call all of them to be exalted. Exalted result of born of Sattva Guna. And what is the significance of this statement? The significance is that Manu is describing this also as a result of karma. And as within the realm of samsara, because he is describing the realm of samsara alone. And at that time, this particular description is given. And this is shloka number what? Manusmriti, shloka number 1250, I think, isn't it? 1250, yeah. 1250. Then in the next shloka, in 1251 also, this idea is further emphasized. So, it is said that what is described so far, all of them are within the realm of samsara alone. So Manu is presenting the attainment of Hiranyagarbha also as the result of Sattvika karma and as something within the realm of samsara. And therefore, Aparavidya phalam is in the realm of samsara alone. So by quote with that is with quoting this Smriti Pramana, Bhashyakara is now concluding the topic of Aparavidya. And he is also supporting what has been said by the Siddhanti while answering this Purva Paksha's question. Now, there is a transition from Aparavidya to Paravidya. So those people who were a little bit concerned in the previous classes, how long this Aparavidya topic will go on, they can be rest assured Aparavidya topic is concluded. Now, the next two mantras are transition mantras to Paravidya. And Paravidya will start with the second Mundaka, first section. So now, in the next mantra, and the following also, the transition is indicated where the person is now outgrowing this Aparavidya and now entering the Paravidya. And how the transition happens is described in the next mantra, which is a very important mantra and oft-quoted mantra. In fact, Swami Paramarthananda ji quotes this mantra almost in every context. Because this is the crux of understanding the whole Paravidya. This is the crux, this mantra gives the crux of what this entire Karma Kanda is all about. 80% of the Vedas, which is consisting of Karma Kanda, what is the final result that this Karma Kanda can give? And what is our takeaway from this Karma Kanda? How should we approach that? That is what is expressed in the next mantra. So here, before we go into the next mantra, Just a small recap I would like to do so that the context is very well set in our minds. So up to the previous mantra, the Upanishad has talked about Aparavidya consisting of karma and upasana, and also it has talked about phalam. Karma will give Swargaloka through Krishna Marga. Upasana will give Brahmaloka through Shukla Marga. So these two sadhanas, the two margas, the two sadhyams were talked about. Karma and upasana are the two sadhanas. Krishna Gati, Shukla Gati are the two margas. Swarga Loka, Brahma Loka are the two sadhyas or destinations. And Bhashyakara wants to show that all of them fall within samsara. And therefore, a person has to understand this truth. They all fall within samsara. And only when that viveka takes place, then vairagyam will dawn. And only when there is vairagyam, one will really turn towards Jnanakanda, the Vedanta Vichara. Otherwise, they will think that this samsara itself is the life's goal, and they will try all sorts of permutation and combination to improve their state in the samsara life only. Unless they understand the limitations of samsara, unless they understand that their goal is moksha and this samsara sadhanas will not give moksha. Unless that happens, they will not turn towards Vedanta Vichara. And therefore, how the turning point comes about is talked about in the next two mantras. So as I said, this 12th and 13th are transition mantras, or what we can call corridor mantras, link mantras, connecting Aparavidya and Paravidya. And in these transitional mantras, Vairagyam and other sadhanas, other qualifications are emphasized. In the 12th mantra, the Vairagyam part is emphasized. Puja Swamiji used to say that you can go to Paravidya from Aparavidya only through the gate of Vairagyam. There is no other route. And that Vairagyam is highlighted. And for that, the Upanishad says, first one has to objectively examine all these lokas. And one should understand for oneself that it is samsara. It is not enough that other Mahatmas and all say so. It is not enough that the scriptures loudly proclaim. The Upanishad is emphasizing that one has to thoroughly, personally examine for oneself. And that word is indicated by the word pariksha. And then the Upanishad says one should examine the lokas. As we saw, lokas will come under sadhyam, karma, upasana, phalam. And Bhashyakara says that it is not enough that we examine the sadhyam, one should examine the sadhanam also. Even though the mantra refers only to the sadhyam, Bhashyakara in his bhashyam will include sadhanam also. Thus, karma phalam, upasana phalam, all of them one should thoroughly examine. And Bhashyakara gives the introduction to this mantra, highlighting Vairagyam. We will read the Sankati Bhashyam, the introduction to the next mantra. First, he talks about karma, upasana, sadhanam in the introduction. So we will read. All of you can unmute. Atha idanim
अथ
अथ
इदानीम्
इदानीम्
अस्मात्
अस्मात्
साध्य साधन रूपात्
साध्यसाधनरूपात्
सर्वस्मात्
सर्वस्मात्
संसारात्
संसारात्
विरक्तस्य
विरक्तस्य
परस्यां विद्यायां
परस्यां विद्यायाम्
अधिकार प्रदर्शनार्थम
अधिकारप्रदर्शनार्थम्
इदम उच्यते.
इदम् उच्यते
So Bhashyakara introduces the next mantra with the words atha. And this word atha is a very popular word in the scriptures introducing a new topic. For example, the commentary on Purva Mimamsa, the Karma Kanda, by Jaimini Rishi start with Athato Dharma Jignasa. That is Atha, Ataha Dharma Jignasa. So the word Atha means hereafter. Atato Dharma Jignasa means hereafter. It is now time to inquire about religion or dharma. Similarly, Maharishi Vedavyasa also starts the Brahma Sutra with the words Athato Brahma Jignasa. And there is a discussion at the beginning of Brahma Sutra, the Bhashyam, on this word Atha. So it is explained that the word Atha means hereafter. So hereafter means whereafter. So it is clarified that hereafter means after studying the Purva Bhaga of the Vedas and having complied with all the instructions contained therein, hereafter it is now time to inquire into Brahman. Athato Brahma Jignasa. That means what? Let us now enter into a comprehensive discussion on the central theme of Upanishad, which is knowledge of Brahman, which is otherwise called Paravidya. And therefore, Bhashyakara starts the introduction to the next mantra with this word Atha, which in this context means after discussing about Aparavidya, after talking about Aparavidya, thereafter, Idanim, now, in the following mantras, Sarvasmat Sadhya Sadhana Rupat Samsarat Viraktasya. The Upanishad is talking about a person who is Viraktaha, who has got Vairagyam. The word Viraktaha means the one who has got Vairagya, the one who has gained detachment as a virtue. And he is detached from what? He is detached from Sarvasmat Sadhya Sadhana Rupat Samsarat. Detached from all these goals. From Sthavaram up to Hiranyagarbha Loka or Hiranyagarbha position. He is detached from all these kind of results. Like often I quote this example, we develop Vairagya towards our childhood toys. That detachment is not because we hate them. But those toys, which were very interesting when we were toddlers or small children, no longer interest us. So what is the process happens? We actually outgrow them. So Vairagyam is nothing but understanding that those objects or things or even relationships are no longer relevant for our goals, and therefore we outgrow them. Because everything in our life, including relationships, has a shelf life. Everything is useful also in a given context. See, we use a comb when we have thick hair on the head. But with age, once the hair disappears, we discard the comb. To put it in a different way, we outgrow the use of the comb. Same is the case with relationships and also with all material things in the world. And that is why in the scriptures, they have kept sannyasa as the final destination of our growth in life. As we grow from one stage to the next stage, we outgrow the previous stage. That is what is called vairagya. Of course, it is not very easy to develop this vairagya. Some vairagyam, of course, comes automatically with age. But many others, like material pursuits or even emotional entanglement, we have to put in a lot of effort by analyzing the utility of each one of them vis-a-vis our goals. And the highest goal within samsara, even Brahmaloka, we should develop vairagyam. And therefore, Bhashyakara says, Sarvasmat samsarat viraktasya. And what is the nature of that samsara? He says, Sadhya sadhana rupat samsaraha, consisting of sadhyam and sadhana, means and ends. Otherwise, it can be called kriyakaraka phala. Or we can say chaturvida karma phala. Or we can say entire drishya prapancha. Asmat, from that which is perceptible to us. So the Upanishad is talking about such a person and says that such a person who is a viraktaha, only for that person parasyam vidyayam adhikaraha. He alone has got the qualification for benefiting from paravidya. Therefore, for entering paravidya, what is the most primary and important qualification? Vairagyam. Vairagyam not towards paravidya. Vairagyam towards aparavidya and its results. And if a person doesn't have vairagyam, not that he cannot study the Upanishads, not that he cannot study Bhagavad Gita, he can certainly study, but he will not get jnana. The scriptures will not deliver what they promise to deliver. It will not benefit him in terms of moksha. But if he undertakes the study with proper attitude, it will be in the form of karma yoga, which will first give chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi will lead us to an objective examination of the karma and karma phala. And then we will come to the conclusion that all these were relevant as long as they lasted. But for my next stage, my goal in life, which is moksha, I will have to develop vairagyam towards all of them. And therefore, we must not actually denigrate aparavidya. Aparavidya, karma and karma phala, they actually are very useful for a certain stage in life. And therefore, once you have outgrown them and come to Vedanta, Vedanta study also is never useless. It can give something beneficial only. If one is qualified with all sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, it will give jnanam. If one is not qualified, Vedanta also can give chitta shuddhi. And therefore, viraktasya parasyam vidyayam adhikaraha. A person who has got vairagyam, he has got the necessary qualifications. Iti pradarsanartham, to show this fact, to demonstrate this fact, that is aparavidya vairagyam paravidya sadhanam iti pradarsanartham. To reveal this truth, idam uchyate. The 12th and the most important mantra is told by the Upanishad. So, the importance of this mantra is to highlight vairagyam as a necessary qualification for paravidya. Now we will read the mantra. Okay. Ready?
Ready, Guruji.
Yes.
Pariksha lokan
Pariksha
Lokan,
Lokan,
karmachitan
Karmachitan,
brahmanaha
Brahmana
nirvedamayat
Nirvedamayat
Vedamayat,
nastykritaha
Nastikritaha,
kritena
Kritena
tadvijnanartham
Tadvijnanartham
sa gurumeva bhigachet
Sadgurumeva
Sadgurumevabhigachet,
samitpanihi
Samitpanihi,
shrotriyam
Shrotriyam
Triyam,
brahmanishtam.
Brahmanishtam
So first I will give the padacheda. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanah nirvedam ayat nasti akritah kritena tad vijnanartham sah gurum eva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. This is the padacheda. So first I will give you the gist of the mantra. So as I said, the importance of this mantra is to highlight vairagyam as a necessary qualification for paravidya. But that is only partially true. Each line of this mantra is very significant from Vedanta standpoint. The first line of the mantra talks about a religious karma yoga way of life by a person who gets the name of Brahmanaha. And here the word Brahmanaha means Vaidikaha, who believes in the Vedic way of life. And such a Vaidika should go through the karma yoga way of life by which he will objectively examine all the material goals. So the examination of the material goals through Karma Yoga is the gist of the first line, which will give him the first qualification called Viveka. And we know Viveka means discrimination. So through this examination, he will be able to conclude that all material goals are finite in nature. So this is the first conclusion he will come to. Then the second line talks about Vairagyam. So such a karma yogi, after getting Viveka, will naturally get Vairagyam, dispassion towards materialistic goals, known as Dharmartha Kama, otherwise in Kathopanishad language called prayas, otherwise as earlier Bhashyakara described Kriyakaraka Phalam or Sadhya Sadhanam. So many names are there for all this. So he will develop a Vairagyam for all these things. So this is the second line. So first line Viveka is emphasized. Second line Vairagyam is emphasized. Then the third line talks about Mumukshutvam, where it is said that such a person should go to a guru seeking moksha. And that refers to Mumukshutvam, the desire for attaining moksha. So Viveka, Vairagyam and Mumukshutvam are mentioned in these lines of the mantra. I hope Tattvabodha students is ringing a bell, isn't it? Sadhana Chatushtayam.
Yes.
Viveka, Vairagya. Then what is the third one? Mumukshutvam is the last one. Anybody remembers?
You should forewarn us that you'll ask a question.
Huh?
You should forewarn us that you'll ask a question.
No. I asked the question to maybe keep you, in touch with what we are studying.
No, I
So
understand.
if I give you the answer, then you will not, make effort to find the answer. So I am
Sadhana
not
Chatushtaya
giving the
Sampatti,
third one.
Guruji.
Huh?
Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti.
Shamadamadi sadhana sampatti.
Sadhana
Sadhana
Chatushtaya.
Chatushtaya is 4 sadhanas, correct?
Correct.
So first
Samadhi
is
Shatka
Viveka, Vairagyam,
Sampatti.
Samadhi
Samadhi
Shakka
Shatka
Sampatti
Sampatti.
and
That is the third.
Mumukshutva. Right?
Mumukshutvam Cheti.
Mumukshutvam Cheti, correct. So this mantra captures the whole Tattvabodha beginning. Sadhana Chatushtaya, essence of Sadhana Chatushtayam is captured in this mantra. See how beautiful it is. There we spent days discussing the Sadhana Chatushtayam. Here in one mantra, 3 lines it is covered. Then the 4th line here talks about the Guru's qualification. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So thus this mantra talks about Viveka, Vairagyam, Mumukshutvam, the qualifications of a disciple, and then Shrotriyam Brahmanishtatvam, the qualification of the Guru. And this is the gist of the mantra. So now we will go to the word meanings of the mantra. We will take up the first quarter. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanaha. Pariksha means having examined, having evaluated, having analyzed from all angles, objectively analyzed from all angles. In fact, this mantra is not only a favorite mantra of Swami Paramarthanandaji, but I guess from how it became his favorite, because it is a favorite mantra of Puja Swamiji also. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Puja Swamiji used to like the shloka, Swakarmanam Abhyarchya. Similarly, in Upanishad, he likes this mantra. In fact, he has given many public talks on the first sentence of this mantra, Pariksha Lokan. And that is a very, very, very important, sentence. Because constantly we must question ourselves. I mean, if you have got a goal in life, even let it be a Laukika goal. Say you are, for example, you are actually want to become a qualified chartered accountant. Goal. Laukika goal, materialistic goal. How will you go about it? You will study. Take these, nowadays, of course, entrance examination is there. You will appear in the entrance examination. Suppose you don't make it. You fail in the entrance examination. What will you do? If you are serious about reaching the goal of CA, you will sit back, examine what preparations you did, how the questions came and how you answered them, and where you could have improved. Isn't it? So this examination, whenever we have some goal in life, and we are actually traveling in that path to reach that goal, this examination is required at every stage. Just like, when we are driving, we are using this, what is called Google Maps. We'll constantly be looking at the Google map to see whether we are on the right track. Have we missed any turning? Yeah, especially when you are driving on highways, etc. In US also, in Kuwait also. In fact, if you miss one turning on one exit, you will have to go another few kilometers to come back to that exit. And therefore, here Puja Swamiji says, Pariksha means examination. And in examination, two things are important. One is what is examined, the standard or the criterion or the angle from which examination is done. So these are the two things which are important. Suppose we examine a group of students. Then the subject of examination is the group of students. Then we have to decide from which angle the examination is to be done. That is important because that will direct the mode of examination. Are we examining the students from their social angle? Or are we examining them whether they are married or unmarried? Or from which type of family they are coming? Or what are their food habits? Or which income group they belong to? Whether they have got Sanskrit background or not. We can have a number of such parameters from which an examination can be done. Or suppose we are examining vegetables. We can analyze from different angles, price-wise, from the angle of their nutritional value, whether they are sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. And therefore, the angle from which anything is examined is also very important. And therefore, what is the angle of examination here? The angle is what I am seeking in my life. Whether what I am seeking in my life, is it available in this world, in the outside objects? If I am seeking freedom from limitation, is it available in those objects? So Pariksha here, the angle of examination is what one is seeking in one's life and analyzing whether the world is capable of giving me what I am seeking. So, from that angle, pariksha has to be done. Okay. Pariksha of what? The mantra says lokan. Lokan literally means the worlds, plural. But in this context, it means we can take the meaning as fields of experience. In fact, when we come to the Bhashyam, we will see Bhashyakara gives a very elaborate meaning of the word lokan. So lokan represents karma phala, the results of karma, the actions. What I am doing to achieve what I am seeking. And Shruti makes it clear by saying karma chitam, acquired through action. So having examined all the worlds or all the fields of experience which are acquired through karma, karma chitan lokan parikshya, and action here refers to both karma and upasana. So the Upanishad wants to point out that to gain vairagyam, one needs to be a karma yogi first. Then only transition to jnana yoga is possible. And therefore, the yoga attitude is very important. And what is that yoga attitude? We have seen Ishwararpana bhavana in all activities, prasada bhavana in all experiences. So through karma and upasana, one needs to become sattva guna pradhana. And such a person here is called brahmana. And in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Krishna says that he is the creator of the 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And he says that he created the 4 varnas based on the guna, the qualities of a person, and karma, the occupation or profession of the person. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah, he said. And in the Shastras, we have a definition of a Brahmana from 3 different angles. One is called Jati Brahmana. One who is a Brahmana merely by birth, like most of us. Because of parents being Brahmana, they are also Jati Brahmana only. So this is the first categorization, Jati Brahmana. As I said, majority of those who call themselves Brahmana now are Jati Brahmana only. The second definition of Brahmana is from the professional angle. A person can be called Karma Brahmana because he has taken to the profession of Brahmana. And what is the profession? Shastra talks about 6 activities as the profession of a Brahmana. Veda Adhyayanam, study of the Vedas. Adhyapanam, teaching the Vedas. Veda Yajanam or Yajanam. And Yajana. Yajanam and Yajanam. Performing Vedic rituals and assisting others in performing the Vedic rituals. That is priesthood. Then Dhanam and Pratigraha. Giving Dhanam and receiving Dhanam. Because that is the only earning a Brahmana can have. Shat karmani dine dine. Adhyapanam, adhyayanam, adhyapanam, yajanam, yajanam, dhanam, pratigraha iti. Shat karmani dine dine. This is called a Brahmana's profession. And the one who takes to that profession is called a Karma Brahmana. So, Jati Brahmana, one categorization. classification. Karma Brahmana is the second classification. Third classification is what? Guna Brahmana, means Sattva Guna Pradhana. The one who values dharma, the one who values virtues, the one who tries to follow Vedic instructions. The degree of success does not matter, but at least he makes a sincere attempt to follow the values and instructions. And the one who is Sattva Guna Pradhana is called a Guna Brahmana. And here, the word Brahmana in this mantra refers to the Guna Brahmana. He is called Karma Yogi in Bhagavad Gita. So he is Sattva Guna Pradhana. He goes through karma and upasana and gains Chitta Shuddhi, Jnana Yogyata Prapti. More we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you all very much.
Thank you
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
very much, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Hari Om Guruji, thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste, Pranam.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
Pranam, pranam.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om. Sita Ramanji's raised hand.
Yes. Now,
Yes.
reading this mantra, it speaks about the fundamental facet of life. In every action you do examination. You should know the result. And you work for the goal. Everything is summarized.
Yes. Everything is summarized.
Yes.
And here the context is Vedanta. But as I
Yeah.
said, every action, everything, because nobody does any action without a purpose.
Yes.
Isn't it? Any action that we do, there is a purpose there. So we must keep the purpose in mind and keep on examining whether what I am doing is going to serve that purpose or not.
Whether we are on the track.
Whether we are on the track.
Yeah.
Or whether totally lost somewhere. So this mantra is actually, you can apply it to any field of activity. Of course, context here, of course, is Vedanta study. But we can apply it to any field of activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a life mantra.
It's a life mantra. Yes. Everybody should do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Any other question? No hands are going up. So I guess we can close the session. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, then we will catch up next week. Hari Om. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Hari Om,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.